And his opponent in the upper right, in the blue, from Korea and Team NV Creator.
And right out of the gate, we've already got a very important difference. We got to talk about this. Max Packs revolutionized the meta with this low ground 1-gate expansion. He's been doing it for months now, even close to a year. And that 1-gate fast expand, so good if you can get away with it. And it's kind of fitting that from one Max to another, we've got Max Packs leading the way for Max Angel. Astrea going to go for this very, very quick expansion because no scout from Creator means that as Astrea, you can just go for this. And it looks like Creator, it looks like he might actually be expecting this. He is going to be going for a proxy with no scout whatsoever. This is both greedy and crazy.
If you've been watching Astrea games over the last little bit of time, and by the way, Astrea Creator, they have a little bit of history in the last month or two, playing 2 best of 3s that Astrea took both. You're going to know that Astrea loves doing this. He is a greedy player. He feels most at home once the game gets past 10 minutes. Creator is less so. I can't speak to his PvP in particular. I haven't seen enough of that. But in general, he's going to be aggressive. In fact, Koreans in general in this matchup are much more aggressive than the Westerners tend to be. They still think that dealing with this single gate expand is a good idea by going for a 3-gate proxy robo, proxy a Stargate, as Creator is going for this game. Astrea, he's got scouts all over the map, but he has yet to find the proxy Stargate that Creator has.
Yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate. He is going to be continuing to look around here. We do have Creators scouting the sentry, and that's kind of good. Well, that's really good information, but that's a kind of good build order here for Creator, because this proxy Stargate, if he just drops the double Oracle or even single Oracle, one, if that sentry wanders a little bit too far away from a shield battery, could get picked off. Two, he can just go straight in, and that sentry not going to be able to scout this location most likely unless he really, really looks around.
Oh man, this is such a problem too. Big benefits to Astrea that Creator did not opt to go for Proxy Void, as I thought he would. But even still, right now with the Adepts running across the map, it's a lot of committed pressure at the front. The Oracle is going to force Astrea to make some very difficult decisions rather soon, but for now, it's a single Stalker. And yes, okay, good cancel there. Shield Battery will... Did it die or was it canceled? Will go down, but a pylon is there anyways. Astrea is not going to take any damage from this, and also, this is committed pressure. Astrea's got to figure something else is going to happen, but his Stalkers are on the other side of the wall, so now the Oracle is going to dive into the natural, not going to get much, and the main base, there's a shield battery. Good moves from Creator, but Astrea, he's having none of it right now.
Oh, and the walls have been so good. We will see this battery overcharge pop that's going to allow this sentry to stay alive. Great defense so far from Astrea, and we see the results of a very, very effective defense. He is so far up in workers right now. He's up 11 workers, and we do have the second Oracle coming on in. We'll be able to grab 2, maybe 3, 3 workers. That is pretty good, but he needs to get big damage with the first time double Oracle comes into fruition. So basically, once this first Oracle regenerates enough energy, now he did leave it on for quite a while, so it's actually going to take a while before it has enough effective energy to start one-shotting probes. And by that point, Astrea may be able to warp in 2 Stalkers into the main base, but that's actually not going to be the case. He's going to go for it right now.
This is a problem. Probes are not getting pulled here. Astrea trusting to the lack of energy. And honestly, that's the proper play. Only 4 probes went down. He did not lose any mining time from the pull. He's still up on workers. There is a reason that we see so many Protoss players going for 3-gate robo, something like that, against the single gate expand steadfast. It's because if you do not do enough damage to equalize, you're going to be significantly behind economically. And we're starting to see that a little bit. It's only 4 workers, of course, because Astrea did lose some, and Creator, at the very least, his army is bigger. It's 6 Stalkers to 3. He has a Phoenix on the map. I wonder, Steadfast, are we going to see the old anti-Zerg tech? You run with 2 Oracles and a Phoenix, you lift one of the anti-air units, and therefore the Oracles can get more done.
That is something we've seen a little bit recently, and it's a pretty cool play. It's very uncommon to go for that, but it's a really cool little move. And you are right, it kind of found its origins in PvZ. So it's cool to see. Now it looks like this. Why is he keeping this Phoenix at home? I mean, it's going to scout this proxy pylon, which is very, very good news because it is DTs, and the only detection is these oracles. So now he is going to be able to. Oh, is he going to send him home? I think he is. I think he may have sniffed out DTs, even though he has not gotten the scout on that Dark Shrine in the natural. Oh, wait, where are the DTs warping in? Oh, they're going to warp in at the third and just walk across. Okay, yeah, with the oracles coming on home. Wait, he's going to drop stasis wards. Wait, that's the worst case scenario. He does still have 2 revelations.
2 revelations? There's something. Although I think what no, 2 revelations should buy enough time, because then even if you do the Archon recall, by the time you run across the map again, you're not going to do much. But look at this. Astrea, he's going to wait. Well, he's going to wait to see for those oracles to be somewhere else before he sends those DTs in. And he gets the scout. But the oracles, I don't know whether this was intentional from Creator or not, but he sends the oracles out. And then he runs back to the main base, maybe trying to bait Astrea in. But for now, the DTs, they're just... Look a second. It's DT Blink at 7 minutes into this game. What do you make of this?
This is Astrea just being an absolute madman. Now he is going to be in a little bit of trouble for a moment. Oh, he really wants to stagger these DTs. This is going to catch his opponent off guard for sure. Because Creator's trying to get aggressive, and if you're microing Stalkers, you could easily lose a ton of workers. Oh, this is perfect for Astrea. He's going to get so many workers. What is he on the left side? Yeah, look at all this already. 6 probes going down, 2 mineral lines not mining. We will see that revelation getting dropped, but this is big damage for Astrea, and Creator has been sent home. He even gets one of the DTs out. You've got to be kidding me.
This is by far one of the best situations that Creator could be in, or excuse me, that Astrea could be in this game. He gets damage done. The Blink Stalker move out that Creator has finds no value. That army supply advantage, by the way, it's fake. It is a 2 Stalker lead. Everything else, it's Adepts, it's Zealots, it's Oracles. They do not matter in the context of this game. Maybe when charge is done, sure. Maybe those Adepts find their way in later, sure. But in these big army fights, 2 Stalkers, when Astrea has a shield battery, that does not matter at all. And most importantly, Astrea, he has a massive lead on his upgrades in this game.
Yes, I was just going to say, you may look at the supplies and say, oh, well, no, there's not a big lead for Astrea right now. And to be fair, it's not a gigantic one. Hold the phone. We actually see the DT getting back in from earlier. This is the one that was recalled out and saved. And with that blink, he's able to get another 3 probes, does ultimately get picked off, so good job by Creator, but that is still some nice value. But the big advantage for Astrea is those upgrades and is the timing on his production. He's able to get up to 8 gateways a little bit quicker than his opponent. He's going to be hitting this +1 timing, and this is going to be very scary to deal with. There is a big Blink Stalker number lead.
That there is. We're going to have to see when Guardian Shield gets popped. There it goes. These Stalkers are going to take so much less damage now. It's effectively a 3 upgrade lead for Astrea. He's going to dump on top of things. Shield Battery gets popped for now, and that will be enough, at least for the moment, to force Astrea back. But my question is, Steadfast, you're already there on the camera. What does Astrea have going on top of that? Are there going to be DTs running in? The answer is no for now. But remember, his DTs have Blink. They can get out. It's no longer quite as committal as it might otherwise have been.
Yeah, it certainly is a really nice upgrade to have. Obviously, in the late game, it's incredibly powerful for harass. You warp in, anything north of 4 DTs, you blink on top of a cannon, you just obliterate it. And then 4 DTs in a mineral line for even 3 seconds, that mineral line is basically gone. That's 12 to 16 dead probes for even, 3 to 4 seconds of missed attention. Now, we do have to mention, Creator is making a nice move to try and come back here. He's going to be going for double Robo Disruptor. Astrea, I don't think he's gotten the scout on this yet. No, he doesn't know about this. If he did, he might be trying to make something happen right now. He's got a pretty big tempo lead. He is going to go double Forge here. Okay. That is very interesting from Astrea.
This is something that we've seen Zest start to try to do in PvP. Or really, actually, he's doing it in PvT, but similar principle, where instead of going Robotech, Colossus, Disruptors, he's trying to get this more mid-game mass blink DT composition, where you get a lot of upgrades, you got a lot of Zealots, a lot of DTs to make something happen, but all that thought, because we got a fight kicking off here. The Zealot's going to charge forward. Astrea owns the vision, though, so it's going to be really hard for a Creator to do too much, but he will shove Astrea back. That's a bit of an anti-timing. Astrea, his upgrades, they're not quite done yet, so that's going to be what Astrea is going to be looking for, but for now, he's going to lose the vision battle, and that will, again, force him back up. Well, that's that's a lot of
really
DTs.
Nice revelation. Yeah. And the Oracles were in perfect position to go for the revelation. It is worth noting, by the way, Creator's Nexus, his 4th base, so much later than that of Astrea's. So much later. So Astrea, he's going to be on 5 bases almost at the timing of the 4th base finishing for Creator. But Creator's got these disruptors, and now that Astrea sees it, what's his response going to be? He hasn't thrown down a second robotics facility and robotics bay yet. He is going to still try and make something happen with this huge attack on the top left side. Ooh, I like this. I like this stasis ward disruptor combo. That could be a very, very cost-efficient trade. In terms of resources lost, Creator is slightly ahead, but Astrea is still ahead in this game. Oh, disruptor. Okay. Oh, that was a close one.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, you're talking about responses. You get Zealots, you get DTs, whatever. Look at this, though, as again, Astrea's going to have to dodge that Disruptor. There's a fleet beacon. There's a second Stargate on the way. Astrea saying, I'm just going to skip your tech. I'm not going to go. I'm not going to play Wait Steadfast. We got a battle on the bottom side here. Astrea flanks forward. Oh. Takes a massive shot from those Disruptors, but he's going to get most of them on the back side. Is that enough to keep him alive in this fight? Yeah, he's got big warpins. He's got a lot of money. Hitting Creator with his wallet right now. He's fine, and he will be moving into carriers after that, absolutely bypassing the composition. And most importantly, there are only 2 disruptors on the field right now. Astrea, he lost some stalkers, but he got them all.
Yeah, that was a very, very good way of putting it. He hit him with his wallet. He took an unfavorable trade to knock out all the disruptors. He knew he was going to take one big shot, but he was fine with it because he knows that he's been far ahead economically. He's been keeping track of his opponent's base count. You might think to yourself that was a bad move, but given the context of the game, I think it was actually a very good one, as he is going to try and hit this base on the right side once again. Will avoid all of the disruptor damage. He's got more harassment trying to come in. Ooh, will eat a big disruptor shot. He's got to be careful, though. He's using a lot of resources right now to try and really overwhelm his opponent. Oh, nice move. Blinks on the Oracles will take them on out, but the counter blink from Creator is going to take down a few stalkers as well. Disruptors, though, will get jumped on, and all of them will get taken out. Nice job by Astrea. He is really trying to overwhelm his opponent with that bank.
Yeah, this is pure Astrea here in this game number 1. Let him get past this. Let him get to the 10, the 15-minute mark. Make the map chaotic. Make it insane. Charge lots, DTs everywhere. Get an eco lead, and then go to town. Astrea, this is how he won his DreamHack Masters Championships against Neeb in 2020. This is how he has been good. This is how he loves to play the game. And Astrea, he's getting into it here. Defensive DTs will keep these stalkers out. But also Steadfast, that is a, what, 8 stalker run by in the natural at 15 minutes into this game.
Yeah, not what you expect to see right here. We do see the DTs being able to harass right here, and it's Creator who is now kind of testing the multitasking of Astrea a little bit. And Astrea is actually struggling a little bit. He's going to lose a lot of these stalkers. Of course, the dealing with disruptors is such an attention hog. I love that Creator's position. He's been utilizing this watchtower so effectively to just kind of zone Astrea out. He's utilizing the vision so well. And Astrea, he prepared himself for a disruptor transition of his own, but he never has went for it yet. And he's kind of running out of, I wouldn't say time, but he has to try and do something if he's not going to transition.
Oh man, look at this concave he had set up for a second though. And I'm sorry, I said Astrea was going Fleet Beacon. No, that is Creator going into there if he wants to, but again, he's only on 4 base. His gas income and his mineral income, not all that great. It looks like Astrea's going to keep the bottom side base alive. As, by the way, he is expanding at a rate of 2 to 1 the bases of Creator. He took 2 bases in the time. Actually, okay, that will go down as we got a fight kicking off here. Astrea looking to take pole position on this base that Creator's trying to take. And yeah, having a lot of tech is good. Steadfast is going to blink forward. 2 Stalkers die for Disruptor. Great trade. But it only matters in as much as you can afford to replace it. Astrea sitting on 7 bases to Creator's soon-to-be 5 means that he can stay this heavy gateway style. He can just look to play the map and eventually wear Creator down time after time. But for now, supplies don't exactly favor him. He's going to have to back up.
Yeah, he's doing a good job of really utilizing that superior economy. As I say that, look at this run by on the top left. That is a ton of charge loss, but the DTs, they are going to meet this army and they will actually outfight it initially. Ooh, that's a bit of a weird blink. He blinks it on the Archons. Does take them out, doesn't have detection though, and Creator does. And that will be all these DTs basically getting taken out. Yeah, no, every DT defensively, a couple more do show up. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, this is Disruptor Stalker versus just Blink Stalker, and that will mean Astrea is going to lose this base. Oh, he's going to blink forward, takes down 2 of the Disruptors. One of them does get a big shot, but he will get every single Disruptor. Save 1. Oh, he gets the Observer of his opponent. Nice job from Astrea, and that means DTs can be used defensively.
And look at how much better these Stalkers are from Astrea as well. It is 3-2-1 versus just 2-1. He's setting up 3 upgrades on what his opponent has. That makes this
so cool.
Okay, though.
Sorry, go on.
Oh, that just makes such a big difference. But Creator, he has a... Well, actually, wait, did he finish that carrier? No, he canceled it. He says, I don't have the money for this, which is true. He does not have a bank. Astrea's bank, it's not incredible, but it is certainly there. And we've been making a big deal about how much better the economy is. Well, Astrea, it's not quite better for the moment. Absolutely. He's going to get the 4th base here as Creator looking for a little bit of base trade, but Astrea's got stuff he needs on the backside. DT's blinking, trying to get on top of the Disruptors. They will not do so, though, as Creator, he forces Astrea back from this outlying base from the rich gold. But in the meantime, yeah, it is full-on base trade here. Zealots to get warped in. And again, remember, the Gateway army of Astrea is better than what Creator has. He has to bring more to bear. The Disruptors are what matters here, and they can only be in one spot at any given time. Astrea, he gets a 2nd base.
He is continuing to push forward. I like this move from Creator. He's going to go around Astrea's position, and now he takes kind of a better position. Astrea's partial defensive army is going to be forced away, and the robotics bay that was in a very exposed position and one of those robotics facilities is going to go down, so Astrea will not have the option to build Disruptors anymore, but I don't think that was ever going to be his game plan. Ooh, nice split at the last second right there, mitigating that Disruptor shot just a little bit. Astrea is going to go for the full commit to the base trade. Are there any probes on the map for Creator? I don't think so. In fact, he's got no probes. He's got 0 probes right now.
Not only does he have 0 probes, Astrea is still mining. He's building a bank. He can build more stuff. As we're going to see the Disruptors, they're just focusing on the probes here. But I got news for your Creator. Astrea has probes all over the map. Knocking down the probes in that one base are not going to make a big difference as there are no more Disruptors available for Creator. He's going to try to recall here. I don't know if I like that. Where are the Disruptors? Astrea, he gets the target fire down. There's nothing. GG Astrea takes game 1. Sorry, folks. Muscle memory killed me. What a way to that game to end. Holy... You know, we're going to keep this PG, but holy crap, Steadfast. What a game.
That was incredible. And I want to point out, there were so many cool maneuvers throughout that game. And I really think, like, I got to go back to what you were saying, because that was Astrea hitting him with his wallet. That was him bludgeoning him to death with money. But something very cool that he did, when the recall came in, you might have noticed, I thought initially he was trying to focus up all his fire to go for the Nexus kill and deny the recall. But what he was actually doing was holding his shots so he could target the Disruptors immediately as they came home. And he did that, and he got a little bit fortunate with the RNG of where, like, the Disruptors came home. But he positioned himself such that he had a lot of firepower ready to bear anywhere around that whole Nexus and just insta-killed those Disruptors. And as soon as they went down, Creator knew he was dead. He knew there was no way. Max Angel identified the win condition, and absolutely grabbed it at the very end. Just a great way to cap things off. What a game number one.
Oh, man. We saw all of the early game PvP in that Cyan versus Haas series, cannon rushes and single gate proxies and all of that. And then we move into this second series where we see Astrea take it to 20 minutes in an insane game number one. But Steadfast, the question we got to ask ourselves now, does Creator let Astrea do that again? Does he allow for the single gate expand to happen? Or does he just 3-gate it, 3-gate robo? We've seen this happen before. Astrea wins an incredible game one against a Korean off this single gate expand. And then the Korean realizes, nope, I'm just going to go kill him. This is not going to work. And then Astrea loses the series 2-1. I'm not saying that's happening in this game. I'm saying I've cast a lot of those games over the last 6 months.
There is a reason that the 1-gate expand is a Max Pack specialty. It's because he has the defense so perfectly dialed in. So absolutely perfectly dialed in. If your opponent goes for a very aggressive move, there's so many situations where if you don't do everything exactly right, you don't have a battery overcharge saved up for the energy for it. You don't have a chrono boost allocated the right way. You build an adept instead of a stalker when you needed to build a stalker, or vice versa. You let a pylon get up. You let a shield battery go uncanceled. You don't build a shield battery when you need to. You don't transition into robo quickly enough. There's so many tiny little things. And I didn't even talk really about the micro there. I just talked about decisions. There are so many things that can go wrong with a 1-gate expand defense. There's a reason that so few players go for it. So I would not be surprised to see Creator really try and punish that. But it does depend on what the next map is going to be. Because if we see another map with a low ground expansion setup, I don't think you can really go for, like, if it's Curious Minds, if it's Pride of Alteris, I don't think you can go for something like that.
No,
that is.
Okay, unless you're Max Packs. I think
oh yeah, and then you shield battery rush the natural.
There we go. Yeah, I'm looking forward to finding out what map 2 is going to be. Understandably, I think the players are getting a little bit of a break here. Man, Steadfast, what I would not give to have a player camera, just a feed into the player area after Astrea wins that game one. I know we're not the fighting game community and pop-offs are not really a thing, but I'm just saying, you heard how excited that game made us as it ended. How much Astrea have felt. I mean, man, what a way to end that game. I would have loved to see Astrea, knock his chair back, do whatever he did. Would love to be a fly on the wall for that. But unfortunately, we're sitting from the great north of North America, not from Poland. Different types of cold. But now, we're going to have a game 2 ready soon, Steadfast. And game 1 was the best game of Katowice that I've seen thus far. It's a short tournament. But I just, I'm not going to say the best game of all time because it's probably not, but it is still very good. So I want another one of those, please. It's Blackburn is map 2.
Yep. Talking about low ground expansion setups, you don't really have much of a choice in terms of this match. I feel like Curious Minds actually really, no, I feel like, yeah, any of the maps where there's a low ground expansion, except maybe Pride of Alteris, because you could theoretically do some funky stuff with a gold base. But I feel like Curious Minds and Blackburn, you pretty much have to 1-gate expand. You don't really have a choice. Like, if you don't, the defense is far too easy. You're not going to be able to do anything abusing the high ground position with like Blink Stalkers or a War Prism or something like that, which means you're going for a full frontal assault against an opponent who has that ramp advantage. And the defense is possible even without a ramp. So once you add that ramp in, you don't want to try and break through there. It is folly.
Yeah, that it is. You talk about Pride of Altaris, though. I'm a little bit sad that it got banned out in that first series because give Pride of Altaris to Haas. I want to see what he comes up with, But on the flip side, we did get 3 great games there. I have no idea what map 3 is going to be. But as you were saying, okay, well, there's only one attack pattern in some of these maps. Blackburn, that's true up until a point. But once your blink is done, or if you have a warp prism, there are about 3 discrete ways you can find your way into the main base, or the main base and the natural if you're trying to do that. Now, the days of blinking in, sniping a pylon to supply block and depower all the production of the Protoss in the early game, it's not quite, we don't see that as much, but that is still an option here. I am just very excited to see what's going to happen because this is also kind of a Phoenix map. Although I don't know whether that is something that Creator does play.
Actually, I know that Astrea does not. He will shy away. He will steer the game away from it. He will go for a second gate instead. But we're gonna see this in action because we're getting into game number 2. Spawning down on the bottom right, already up 1-0, winning with the power of money. It is Alpha X's Astrea, Max Angel.
And his opponent in the bottom left in the blue. From Team Envy, he is Creator.
And as mentioned, it's that 1 gate expand. You pretty much have to go for it. And in this situation, there's a few things you have to do as a mental checklist. You have to make sure your probe is sent across the map. You have to make sure that it's in position for that initial gate nexus timing. You want to make sure that, you know, you're not losing it, because if you lose it, your opponent's just going to expand before you and they'll block your nexus and you'll just end up way behind in a situation where you should be mirrored. And we'll just, you know, both players, I'm confident that they'll be able to do so. But we'll keep an eye out for now and make sure that they don't make any slip-ups.
Absolutely. I'm actually the thing I'm looking for. You talked about how Creator will go that second gateway instead of going Stargate. That's what I'm tracking in this game because Phoenix plays an interesting beast, Steadfast. It is something that when you see this single gate expand versus single gate expand, we almost always see it because once you get locked into Phoenix play, there is no way to get out of Phoenix play, right? So, okay, yeah, Creator, he's going to get the Stargate in the natural, but look at this. Actually, Astrea, for a moment, he's going to neglect the Stargate. He's going Warp Gate first.
Yep, and he's going to probably drop a second gateway right here. He, like I said, he prefers it. He would rather not go up against a Phoenix versus Phoenix war. He would rather win a game in a way that he wants to. He would rather have a game decided based on decision making and other aspects than anything else. Oh, probe does go down. That's actually a nice job by Creator and a bit of an annoyance for Astrea because one, he's not going to be able to, actually, did he even see the Stargate? No, he didn't see the Stargate. Now you should be able to infer because that's such a common way of opening, but he didn't see the Nexus or the Stargate. For all he knows, there could be 4 gateways at the natural. Now he's not playing Haas, so you can pretty much count that out, but you never 100% know until you know, right?
Yeah, and sometimes, actually, it's the sense of knowing when you miss something that is the most dangerous. Astrea knows what he doesn't, or knows that he does not know. He knows that he didn't get up on the natural, he doesn't know what's blocking that wall. But sometimes you have this situation where you're looking for a proxy is the big example there, and you miss it. But you've checked all the reasonable spots. So then you're convinced that there's not a proxy. And that's where damage happens for the most part. Astrea will knock down the Oracle, and he's going double Oracle here. We're not going to see Phoenix play, as you said, in part because Astrea opted to not go for it. I guess maybe this is a Blackburn effect. Maybe this is some preparation for Creator where he doesn't think he's going to go for this super aggressive 3 gates, something like that, like, say, Hero would do. And one thing I will say for Astrea, for Alpha X in general, they put a lot of work into sourcing replays, into getting their players prepared for things. There's a reason that Jo-Un in weekend tournaments is so dang good. So I would not be surprised if Astrea was able to look at a bunch of Creator replays and realize, okay, I'm safe to do this. I don't have to worry about him doing a response here. Oracle's going to dive in. 3 probes go down.
So this is the cost of not going Stargate yourself. Is you cede to the fact that your opponent is going to be able to do 1 gate expand with double Oracle or single Oracle, and you're going to be opening yourself up to this harass, and you have to respond to it basically perfectly. And already those 3 probes going down is that's the cost, that's the tax of not going for your own Stargate. Creator's gonna come out of this a little bit ahead. Both players still get their blink at almost identical timings, despite the fact that Astrea went straight for that blink, straight for that Twilight Council. Yeah, this is why everyone goes Phoenix. They don't want to have to deal with those oracles. Astrea says, I can do it, I can withstand it, but unfortunately stumbling just a little bit in the initial stage, and he's gonna have to try and find a little bit of damage with these adepts off this just random pylon. I love that Astrea throws back to this, because this used to be really common and it's quite good in PvP.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Steadfast, something you said a bit ago. I'm wondering where the advantage is from Astrea. Even before he took 4 workers damage to the oracles, he had I wasn't seeing at least any timing advantage. Blink was on the same time. +1 is actually going to be slower for Astrea. Third base timed out maybe a little bit faster, but not enough to account for the entirety of a skipping Stargate. I don't know. There's something. Okay, it's the Robo. There we go. That's the difference that kind of keeps things somewhat equal. But because Blink is going to be much slower for Astrea, I believe he has a Forge. Oh no, I'm sorry. He does not even have a Forge. Creator has a extremely powerful +1 Blink Stalker coming up pretty soon.
Yeah, this is going to be really scary for Astrea to deal with. Now, we do have this double adept going to get found by this random scouting zealot, and the zealot survives with 1 HP. Creator will blink it on top of these adepts and will be able to pick them off. Meanwhile, the double oracle is going to come on in and going to find even more damage. 4 more workers will get blinked on, but he does get out. Great damage coming out of Creator right here. And you mentioned it, the blink stalker timing with the +1 weapons. I don't know that Creator knows that there's no Forge. It looks like he's gotten a scout pretty recently. So yeah, no, he should have an idea that there's no Forge. And maybe he tries to go for an aggressive move with +1, or maybe he just looks towards a +2 timing once he confirms where the second Forge actually is. And to answer your question, the main advantage, Astrea gets an earlier sentry and gets to scout with that. That's really the only thing that he gains with what he's done. Obviously that Robo you mentioned as well, but that's a little bit later on.
Yeah, so this actually begs the question next, is again, that +1, Astrea is going to be down an upgrade this entire game, at least until they go, maybe Astrea goes double Forge again, they get to wherever they stop building upgrades. Sure. But for now, Astrea is going to be behind there. But the one thing Astrea has shown us in this series thus far is his understanding of how to get economically ahead. Sure, the oracles are finding value. This much is going to continue to be true for a little while longer, forcing even a cannon at an interesting spot from Astrea just to knock those oracles off. But Astrea is so good at figuring out where, when, how, and why he can expand. This time, though, there's the gold base. So even if Creator's fourth base is going to be a little bit slower, and it's only just by a little, that gold base is going to ameliorate any and all advantages that Astrea has by making it a little bit faster.
Yeah, this is a really, really strong advantage for Creator right here. And this is kind of why I'm not a big fan of not going Stargate. Oh my god, this natural is so exposed. If Creator dives in here, he is going to find so many probes. Oh my goodness, Astrea, he is left wanting, and he is going to lose so many workers. 9 workers already going down, doubling the number of workers killed with this, and he's just going to sack the oracles. You may as well get 17 workers at all told, and this is now Astrea. He's almost all in at this point relative to his opponent's economy, but he's also down an army supply. What can he do?
I mean, he has equal upgrades for another 20 seconds, and look at this. Okay, Astrea's not quite moving out just yet. Or actually, I guess he is, but we're going full base trade here if he decides to do that one. Creator's entire army is on the north side. And I do not like Astrea's chances if he goes base trade this game. The army, Creator's doubling his army supply. He has done so much economic damage in this game that sure, Astrea hit him with his wallet in game 1, game 2. Well, first of all, Creator's gonna get scouted out here by the DTs, but that actually doesn't mean much of anything. Astrea, he's gotta go for the base trade. He minorly has first movers advantage as the probes, they're absolutely on the run, but they're all just gonna go down. Run all you want there, bud. That's not going to work out. The third base of Creator is going down, the fourth base as well. But the recall into the main base, I think, is going to tell the story here. There's no way that Astrea actually takes this, right?
I don't see a realistic world. He's down in upgrades. The main thing, Astrea's win condition is he picks off all the observers and wins it with DTs, basically. Picks off. So there's 3 observers for Creator that Astrea has to snipe, as well as the robotics facility, but he's come home. He's going to try and hold this base. He already popped battery overcharge before the fight. Oh, a very ill-advised blink forward. Will cost him a couple stocks. He's going to try and draw his opponent into the static defenses, but there's not even that many. Yeah, Creator's army is just way more powerful. I think Astrea should have continued to base trade.
I guess... Oh, okay, we don't even have the fact that Astrea was mine anymore. That is no longer true. And we notice the DTs, they get sniped as they blink in. A detection good unit here, as now Creator, he's catching him in the slow zones. Astrea, don't do that. But it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, regardless of what happens, Creator, he blinks on top of it, but he ties this series up. GG. Creator takes it.
And once again, we see the power of the Stargate opener and why players feel obliged to go Phoenix versus Phoenix. If Astrea defends perfectly, he can definitely make that style work. But there was a couple moments where his mineral lines, he wasn't quite paying attention, didn't have the stalkers. And it's not like the stalkers were far out of position. They were like, what, a quarter of a page out of position, like a few steps away. And that's all it takes. That's all it takes in that early game against Double Oracle. The ability to click down your opponent's units, it is frightening. It is frightening how quickly they kill workers.
Yeah. Astrea was behind from the early game by losing those 4 or 5 workers, which may not seem like a ton, right? It's 4 workers. How much of a difference does that make? Well, it's a mirror. So that does actually tend to matter a decent amount when the timings are so razor edge. But then you lose an entire mineral line. It doesn't matter that you took your 4th base a little bit faster. And even with the 4th base being faster, Astrea was going to be behind. He didn't have the gold. So really what we have now, Steadfast, is an example of 2 players. They have this really heavy bag filled with gold coins, or minerals, I guess, in their hands. Game 1, Astrea takes it. He hits Creator upside the head. Creator falls down, but as he falls, he takes the bag. He pops back up. He hits Creator with it. Again, knocks him to the ground. Or he hits Astrea with it now, knocks him to the ground. The question now, Steadfast, as we go into game 3, who holds the bag?
That's a good question. Whoever, it seems like, yeah, whoever has had the better economy is going to be able to take this one down. Astrea was... He was just in a tough position from moment 1, but the same situation is true for Creator in game 1. So it's really going to come down to, can either of them get a bit of an advantage in the early game? Because it seems like that is kind of snowballed things pretty heavily.
Yeah, absolutely. Although we talked in game 1, Astrea I don't think wasn't too far ahead in the early game. It was just that mid-game mid-game timing where he went up 3 bases on his opponent, where suddenly that was when he really started to snowball. So, even with that early game advantage, disadvantage, I think as long as this game goes somewhat even, we're going to be okay. We're going to get another good game. We're waiting, of course, to see what game number 3 is going to be on, waiting for the lobby there. But Steadfast, sometimes you talk about the Korean versus foreigner matchup in the round of 36, and you're going to say, it's not going to be all that great. Even with that being a little bit one-sided there in that game number 2, this series has absolutely been delivering.
Yeah, it's been very, very enjoyable. I've had some fun. A lot of people are like PvP, but I'm on board with PvP. It's a fun matchup. It's an inventive matchup. It's a matchup where things can go very quickly. You can have a lead for a very long time. A couple DTs slip into a mineral line, a disruptor shot hits unexpectedly, and things can turn on their head extremely quickly. I really enjoyed game number 1, where Astrea went for that mass gateway man style with the heavy upgrades. I really hope we see more of that in game number 3.
I do too, man. That is the PvP is the best when it is not say Charizard Archon versus Charizard Archon, Blink Disruptor versus Blink Disruptor. It's when we have these disparate styles. Blink Disruptor versus Mass Gateway. Blink Stalkers versus Carriers. Charizard Archon versus Blink DT Disruptor, because you have that asynchronicity in play. You have players with different win conditions trying to get them while denying the win condition of their opponent. And I'm going to say, I think PvP as a matchup does that part of StarCraft better than any of the mirrors. Sure, ZVZ is excellent in the late game. Marine Tank versus Marine Tank is really cool, but we don't have the multiple viable styles that match up so well, so interestingly against each other, that PvP does provide.
Yeah. It's... Yeah, like in ZVZ, we obviously have, the Roach, Ling Bane versus Ling Bane usually, or sometimes there's those +1 Roach pushes, or you can go into mutas, and then the late game gets a little bit weird. There's a lot of very interesting stops along the way. You can obviously go for some weird Nidus plays. Rogue, I would say, is very, very good at understanding kill potential in games and what it takes to kill his opponent. But PvP, I think it does have that really interesting dynamic ability. Like you said, we've seen a lot of Charizard Archon versus Charizard Archon into the disruptor styles. But Astrea says, no, I'm going to make this style work. And he did a pretty good job in game number 1. And like I said, I really hope we see more of that. It's... Okay, there we go. Oh, no, that is game 2. That's a different series. So we're still, you might be like, oh, why are they still talking? Why haven't we gotten into game? Well, because it seems as though the players are really taking their time here, making sure that they're in the correct mental state. We were talking about mindset versus grind set. You got to be very well set up. You really, really have to be going into this. This is the tournament of the year for these guys. Oh. So I don't begrudge them at all.
Steadfast. I got an update for you, by the way, because, we're trying to keep track of other things. Spirit 2-0 DRG.
What? I was looking at that, and there was a 40 supply lead for DRG in game number 1 at what time? It was like 189 supply to 145. The fact that he was able to come back and win game 1 and then also win game 2. I mean, the meme is that Spirit is Cyril's late game practice partner, but he must have had some killer late game to be able to take that series.
Absolutely. Man, that is actually... DRG has probably the number 4 ZVT in Korea. And it's such a different style, too, that it's hard to practice against because he has that old school, new school matchup that not a lot of players play, especially here in the West. So the fact that Spirit was able to do that, was able to outgreed the greedy Zerg and take it however he took it, I'm not totally sure. Dang impressive. Also, updates, Laser is up 1-0, which is that kind of surprising to me, actually, considering Skillus has been bopping Raynor in EPG Cups recently. And, oh, wait a minute. Bigger result. Nice 2-1 hero.
Yes, that is crazy. Hero, for me, was almost a lock to get out of the round of 36. But we have already had some, I would say... That's a pretty big upset. That is a pretty decent upset. Now, Nice is a very, very good player. And he is one of the players that I would say has a very solid chance of making it out of this round of 36. But I really, I have Hero to make it to the round of 8. I think he's actually going to make it into the group stage. And I think he's going to make it out of the group stage and at least one round further. I don't think he's going to win his group, whatever one he happens to get to. But I have him making it out and getting very far in this tournament. So that is one, a huge result for Nice, and two, a little bit concerning for Hero.
Yeah, you said you had Hero in round of 8. I had him as a Dark Forest round of 4 contender, just with how good he's been looking. In my mind, he has by far the best PvP in Korea. That moniker would have gone to Zest, but Hero has been beating Zest recently. He is the thought leader. I was talking about this on the Pylon show yesterday. He is the thought leader in PvP in Korea right now. Trap is doing that thing that we tell up-and-coming players to not do. Don't copy a build without understanding. But Trap so strongly believes, or at least appears to believe, that Hero knows how to play PvP the best, that we're seeing him attempting hero builds without a kind of an obvious understanding of what Hero is doing. So it's not working out for him all that well, whereas Hero is bopping fools. So nice. Not only is Hero good in PvP, not only is he leading the meta in PvP, I would expect Nice. Actually, you know what, Steadfast? Let me recant what I said. I actually think Nice that's a little less surprising than I would think. Strictly because Hero plays PvP weird, and who does Nice run into in the grand finals of his regional tournament every single time?
Haas.
Exactly. And Haas has the strangest PvP of really anything. So you have a player who is defining the meta, who is doing all of these weird things, and you're running into someone who is just used to dealing with the BS. Well, that's not going to be quite as one-sided as even Ligulek might think.
Sorry, just 1 second. I'm just confirming that the A stream might be taking over this series.
That doesn't make any... Wait.
Does not make a ton of sense, but... They just... I don't know why... What the... What the hell?
I am pinging production, but for now we're going to keep doing it as if it's normal and fine. I would like to cast the rest of this series. Let me find you. There we go. All right, so we have game 3 ready. Here's hoping that we get to cast it. And now we're going to find our way into game number 3, I think. I hope. Let's get into it.
Oh, okay. So we're casting in tandem, I guess.
Okay.
So we got ourselves a cast off here. Spawning down to the bottom left of Glittering Ashes. It is Team NV's creator. With the nice game number 2.
And his opponent in the upper right, in the red, for Alpha X. Give it up for Astrea.
And it would seem as though Creator does not want to go and let Astrea get away with this 1-gate expand for free. And he's going to go for his own 1-gate expand. Now, this is a map where you can potentially go for something a little bit cheeky with maybe well, I mean, not just this map, it's really any map, but potentially a shield battery rush, you know? I don't think we're going to see that because it's not max packs. This is Astrea, and he's, you know, going to be much more likely to play a standard setup. Creator, I feel like he just wants to emulate game number 2, go for another quick Stargate, another double Oracle into Blink play. And I think that's the right call with how that went in game number 2.
I would agree with you. It looked good, although I would expect to see Astrea maybe adapt a little bit. By the way, as we got ready for this series, and actually as we got that little interview with Vitamin set up, I was talking to him ahead of time, and he said, well, you know, you can talk to me now, or we can wait and I can get Astrea after this series, after he beats Creator, and we can get a winner's interview. Which means that, you know, I know we talk about, okay, how is he feeling? And he was a little non-committal, but that's some confidence right there. I know we're in game 3 and Creator did look good in that game number 2, but you're saying, no, not if he wins, when he wins. That's a decent amount of confidence here for the Alpha X player.
Yeah, definitely. It's a very confident situation. Now, this is a much, much better start already than game number 2. He's able to keep the probe alive, gets back down to the natural. This is supposed to be the advantage that you get, is that because it's a quick Stargate for Creator, the Nexus is delayed. You get that block once again. You slow things down significantly for your opponent. Now, you do want to keep that probe alive as long as possible. Like, it's pretty important. Especially since Creator did delay his Stalker by a pretty significant amount of time. Did he get the scout on the Nexus? I think he did. Oh my goodness, what? Adept went across the map, and it is getting so much damage done. How did this happen?
I mean, it's equal. I was going to say it's equalizing damage, but you're expected to be ahead economically after the way these matches, the game, these builds opened. The quicker Nexus, things like that, not going for a Stargate. So the fact that Creator briefly equalized the worker count, an Oracle is going to start heading across the map. That's going to be a bit of a problem. That should be the end of it. 3 workers do go down. Shield battery is on the way. And it should be done right around the time that that Oracle runs. Wait, is that Oracle? No. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, he's okay. Yeah, there we go. Creator, he's not going to send the first Oracle. I mean, it's across the map, but he's going double Oracle here. He knows that there's going to be shield battery. He wants to find the value anyways.
Yeah, and I kind of like it. This is something interesting, by the way, that Astrea does. He did it in the second game. I didn't point it out, but he actually pulls a probe off of each gas in order to really power his mineral income. And it allows you to, I guess, take advantage of this double gate setup a little bit more and get the warp-ins of stalkers that you need to deal with this, get probes very quickly, get a quicker third Nexus. We will see the Oracles coming on in here. They are going to grab a good number of probes despite the double stalker. Yeah, that's 5 probes, and that is a problem for Astrea.
Another way to look at that is it's only 2 stalkers.
Yeah. Oh no, two more probes gonna go down. We will see one of the Oracles getting picked off, but another probe. Great moves from Creator here, and once again, Creator is proving to us that you really do need to go for those Phoenixes. Or well, so you really do need to go for the Stargate yourself.
Maybe Steadfast. In that there are 2 Oracles out on the map, sure, but it is 6 stalkers to 2 now. And the stalkers from Astrea, they are running across the map, at least a little bit, looking to put on some pressure. So while that damage was there, it's not nearly as significant as it was in the previous game. We're not seeing a super fast forge that gives Creator so much more. And he is posting up outside of the third base of Creator. So his third base is going to be much faster. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Blink just completed right as the Phoenix or Adept, pardon me, that hallucinated Phoenix expired. He literally had vision. 1 more second on that hallucination. He blinks up into the main base. 4 stalkers, that's 1 shot potential, ignores the shield battery, and he gets probably 5 or 6 probes with that because Creator did not have blink done. His stalkers were mostly at the natural. That could have been some really big damage for Astrea. But he's just a little bit too late right there. That is painful for Astrea fans right there. Very big sigh of relief for Creator fans. But yeah, that's pretty unfortunate for Astrea.
I mean, even then though, as Astrea is going to look to shark forward, but his stalkers are revelated. He has less of them at the front right now. I'm starting to he's going to get the pylon. He's going to find it. He's got the proxy. Now, Adepts don't kill pylons. We're going to say that. No. That takes a moment, but he's going to know that this is a possibility. He sees the third base timing, and Creator is going to actually start to rotate over to try to keep that aggressive position alive. We're going to have to see how aggressive he decides to get off of this. Of course, Blink's down on both sides. Astrea trading charge, actually, at the expense of a forge. We're going to have to see how that one works out, but for now, Creator, he's on the move.
That he is. There is an Immortal on the way here for Astrea. He loves that more heavy ground and pound style. We do have this single Oracle coming into the main base, and the fact that there's no... it's going to be a Stasis Ward. We'll see how many probes it gets. It's a lot of probes in the main base. Astrea heavily pressured. He is supply blocked right here. He's in some trouble. He is in some trouble for sure. He's up a lot of workers. Actually, a lot of workers. And he's in on the other side of the map with double Adept. So hold on. Maybe it's Creator who's in a little bit of trouble here. Oh, nope. Just 1 Adept going to survive and get into the main.
Yeah,
and now the Immortal's out. I actually like this for Astrea now.
Oh, absolutely. Especially now his charge is finishing up as well. Blink Stalkers, they're good against a lot of things, Steadfast. Charge is not exactly one of them. And that forged advantage that Creator has, it is a while coming here. But actually, nice target fire on the Immortal. Will put damage on the hull. But again, Creator, he's forced to back up here. And that's another Stasis, the second one. Astrea just not quite on top of things, but it looks like he should be able to get the Orc. No! It gets out.
Ooh, meanwhile, at the main fight, the Immortal did get taken down. Battery overcharge back off cooldown will get popped by Astrea. And man, he's kind of not positioning stalkers well. He should at the very least be getting them over here to get fully healed up at the minimum, the bare minimum. But it seems like he is fumbling a little bit on this defense. Second Immortal, though, is going to pop out, and he's going to be okay. Blinks forward, but Creator, he's got a big concave right here. He is going to look to try and end this game. He blinks in, takes down the Immortal, will potentially overcommit. I think I'd like to see a couple of Zealots warped in from Astrea. He doesn't have the gateway count he needs. And we had the Oracle and the Natural picking off another 5 probes. Creator is really starting to pull ahead in tempo, but he's actually down in supply is the weird thing. It feels like he's done so much and should be ahead. But actually, you know what? The big advantage? This gateway explosion. Creator has it on the way. Astrea still not even... actually, well, no, Astrea's on 5 gateways. That's not terrible.
These games are always so interesting when you look at how the fight is going and you say, wow, look at how far ahead Creator is. It seems like he's taking the better fight time and time and time again, but then you look at resources lost and it's even. You look at the fact that Astrea has been mining more throughout the majority of this last 5 minutes. Just a little, but often it's sometimes a little bit more. And then you say, wow, this game is a lot more even than I thought it was. The only advantage really for Creator right now is the fact that he has an upgrade lead. It's +1 versus +0, and that Oracles continue to be the Achilles heel, but this time it's dead. No more probes will die at his hand. It's not an entire mineral line in danger anymore, as now Astrea looking to punish the 4th base of Creator.
Ooh, nice blink forward right there. Will pick off a Stalker, and he's going to get the cancel here. How is Astrea ahead in this game? I don't understand StarCraft 2, apparently, because every time that a situation like that unfolds and... yeah, I don't know. And now we got a big warping into the main base. It is going to be Astrea who is coming in with the counterpunch. Going to be able to find quite a few probes. This is a big problem for Creator. Astrea, he weathered the storm, and now he finds himself quite ahead. Oh, blink forward will take down the Warp Prism, though. That's a great move from Creator. But he still suffers a decent bit of economic damage. Pressure coming in at the front. I don't know about pushing up this ramp into a defensively set up Creator, but he's going to go around to the right side.
Yeah, I mean, again, right now, this is a hard spot for Astrea to push into. I want to say the army value, yeah, is a bit higher for Creator. He has a shield battery, making that even more so. He has an upgrade lead. We're not at the point where Astrea can just, we've been talking about this, can hit Creator with the wallet. Not yet. He's getting there, and he's trying to make that happen. But Creator actually saying, no, you just traded a lot of Zealots there to try to find an economic lead. I have an upgrade advantage. Let me go push it just a little bit more. I have Archons. I have all of these things. And Astrea, actually, he's just on Mass Stalker. We talked about this inflection point of charge being done first. Maybe that's going to be good. Astrea has done this every game in this series. It's 39 Stalkers. That is all that he has, trying to look to punish a Creator maybe for having a more complicated army. But for now, this army from Creator is looking terrifying.
It sure does, but there's not that many Immortals. The Archons are going to struggle to get to the front here. Zealots in the back, not the greatest positioning from Creator. He does have that upgrade lead, but no 4th base. He's down in workers. He kind of needs to, at the very least, kill a ton of workers, if not kill a base.
Yeah, this is kind of all in here from Creator, and we got to remember, he has 3 observers. I don't know, see how many are with the armor right now. It looks like there are 2, so no defensive DTs for the moment. 8 probes have died thus far, as Astrea just trying to force Creator back from this whole position that he has found for himself. And I think this base is actually going to go down unless Astrea does something about it. The Archon, though, will fall. The base is dead as well. Creator trying to equalize things. But Steadfast, look at the supply here. It's 170 to 115. And the DTs doing so much counter damage. They're going to get the Robo as well before an extra Observer pops out. It's going to force a recall. Astrea loses a base. But how much does that really matter?
When you kill that many probes and you were already ahead to begin with, I actually think Astrea comes out of this further ahead than before it started, which is so strange to say after he lost the Nexus. And now he is just utilizing this Mass Blink Stalker. He's on 44 Stalkers right now. He is going to just be forced back, but my God, is he ever playing a crazy and cool style. I want to point out something really nice that Creator did during that fight. You talked about the hold position. He really forced Astrea to not be able to fight him by just staying and using the Nexus to block off Astrea's actual concave. That was a really, really nice little move from Creator.
That it was. Now Astrea looking to move in once again. That upgrade lead that Creator has been nursing it's not going to matter too much anymore. And even still, more stuff beats less stuff. The Immortal goes down. DT's continuing to find value. Two of those are from the DTs from earlier because Blink is done. He got out. And now it's a 30 army supply lead. There's no upgrade advantage anymore. Astrea just looking for that salient point that he can attack into is, oh, Crater, you don't want to go down that low ground. Astrea blinking forward. He gets some detection as well. How many observers on the field? It's only one. Do we have a Robo again? The answer is no. One observer left. And then these DTs are going to be everything on top of the fact that Astrea is maxed out and has 130 army supply and has everything he could possibly want.
And he's got an observer on this, in this, like, I call it observer siege mode. He's got it in, I think it's sentry mode is the actual name. He's got one with the army. If he snipes that observer, it's basically lights out on its own. But now it's going to be Astrea returning the favor to Creator. He should maybe step back and try and force Creator to come to him a little bit. But this is still going to be a great concave for him overall. He's got a huge number of Blink Stalkers. Chargelots will try and get in here for Creator, but the supplies are just so far in the favor of Astrea. DT's in the natural. Concave for Astrea. The mass Blink Stalker is going to close this game out. It's a 100 supply lead. And Astrea shows us an amazing series, an amazing performance. What more is there to say?
I don't know, Steadfast, but I can tell you this. I did not have Astrea winning this series. GG. Astrea moves on.